Hey, what's up, guys? Wanted to share with you guys something I've been working on the last couple of days, spending a bit of my time in, and that's basically to come up with a better script, right? Better cold calling script. So overall, I've been just going through just a few more trainings, more towards involving scaling your agency, and watching a few more YouTube videos, underground SEOs who have recently done very great and had like tremendous growth in their business, etc. And not surprised to see one of the common denominators is cold calling, right? Obviously, there's many agencies that do it all through email and the 100 other ways, but more often than not, what it seems like to me, good old picking up the phone and calling just gets shit done. So, looking back at a few of the stuff that I've been working on, and the most important parts that you need to have in order to have a successful agency, like actual results, right? That's a sector I improved upon quite a lot in the last 6 months. I can actually bring results now, get their phone to ring from within week one, all these stuff. So that part is looking great. The sales side, I've improved quite a bit as well. Once the client shows interest, usually after I do my presentation, show them how I can help them, even if they don't buy, they're usually, it's clear that they got something out of it, right? It's not a time they regret spending with me. Like, they get some good information, they're interested, and so the sales part I'm kind of getting confident with as well. But the outreach part with the calling is still the same, right? My pitch more or less is still the same for the longest time. And even though I'm able to provide much more results than I was able to in the beginning, I'm not showing any of that when I initially call. And it's just looking back now, it's a red flag, right? And it's also kind of a confession of mine, to be honest, because when it comes to calling, right, my skill as a cold caller is not that high, right? I'm just average, if that. The only reason I believe I can actually, get a few clients and come to this point where I am is because I actually put in the time, right? Like, when I call. Like, I just get down to it and I put in the numbers, right? And if you have enough swings at the bat, you're gonna hit something. But having that said, it's time, I feel like, I put some time into actually putting down a serious script, or a couple of scripts that I believe works, and I'll give a shot at all of them simultaneously and be able to grade which one works better for what, giving me a better understanding of how to maneuver through certain rebuttals. So yeah, without further ado, mainly this script is a combination of, I think I got it from Digital Triggers, couple of the points. Some of them was from my life insurance. Let me see if I'm gonna show you guys that. This is from Digital Triggers, right? Let me see if I have my life insurance open. Insurance script. So this is one of the scripts that is one of the first things I ever cold called with. It's when I was selling life insurance. It has nothing to do with digital marketing, obviously, but it's really great to be able to see some of the pauses that where big companies put. One second, I'm back. What was I gonna say? All right, now I was just saying, like, how sometimes looking at any script really for any company, it can be great, especially for companies that are heavily bound on cold calling, because they usually spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when I was working in life insurance, like every couple of months, they would make like little tweaks to the script, right? They're constantly researching of ways of where to put pauses. Wait for the answer, where to put client's name, comma. They would like go over it with us, how to put emphasis, tone, and things like that. So you can pass these little understandings onto like other forms of sales and cold calling that you do. And yeah, I'm not gonna go through it. Trying to make a little short video. This video is a lot of it. This script right here is a pretty good one. I'm just like tweaking it. I took here and there a little bit points from Lead Logica, and yeah. So let's see. So I'll read this with you guys. Okay, I think this one's pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna read it with the emphasis if I can. I just wrote it. I didn't read it to myself yet. All right, you call, rings. Hey, is John around? He's like, yeah, or something. Hey, John, just the man I'm looking for. This is Shib from VaynerMedia. You got a minute? Hey, and then he'll be like, some kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, what is this about? It's like, like they always say, like, they don't usually just say no right then and there because they don't know yet. Like, they're just like, yeah, what's up? What is this about? Like, like, and then I'll be like, hey, this is from VaynerMedia. I just wanted to give you a call, introduce our company. Listen, we specialize in working with roofing contractors like yourself. Recently we brought a company, DeGiorgi Inc. Don't know if you heard about them. They're a pretty big roofer by Connecticut. But we brought them an extra 21 qualified calls this last month. So we got a process down that is working very well. I see you guys have a pretty good crew. Are you doing mainly online or offline marketing? Now, this part is a little vague. It's kind of designed for companies that I haven't researched or looked up anything, like what their presence is. So that's why I kept it really vague. And but yeah, anyways. So then I let them answer like, yeah, we're currently doing, certain this or that, or, and they just like kind of wishy-washy out. And so I get back in there. Oh, okay. How's that working out for you? Okay, and then they tell me a little bit. It's working good. They usually don't say bad. They say it's working okay. Leads you on. Like, great. Hey, listen, like I said, we got DeGiorgi 21 extra calls this October. That was this last month. 6 of which turned into jobs for them, over $6,500. So I just wanted to see if I could present what we are doing for other roofing companies with their inbound marketing. Like if I could show you what we are doing, and we could bring in an extra dozen or more customers from our biggest clients. Would that at least, would you at least take a look at that? So, I kind of stumbled over this part, but this part is pretty good, right? Let me say it again. Hey, listen, like I said, we just got DeGiorgi 21 extra calls this October, 6 of which turned into jobs for them of over 6,500. So I just wanted to see if I could present what we are doing for other roofing companies with their inbound marketing. Like if I could show you what we're doing and what we are bringing in extra dozen customers from our biggest clients. Would you at least take a look at that? I messed up in the same parts, but you get the point, right? Sometimes I say stuff that sounds like I'm stumbling, but I actually do it in real life, and I don't know if I think this, but I think it's okay. So, like, for example, I say like a lot. They usually say not to say like, but I say like quite a bit. I don't know. I can't test it really if it helps or not. But anytime where there's like a transition, like for example, 6 of which turned into jobs for them over 6,500. So I just wanted to see, like, if I could, leading them on the thought, right? And I do that. I feel like it works out okay. You just have to really find your tone, I guess, right? Anyways, okay, would you at least take a look at that? You see, it's a very good point followed by a very low commitment. Get it? Like, hey, we're not talking about, hey, we're doing SEO and stuff like that. We're talking about, like, hey, we brought in, like, extra 6 jobs that equal to 6,500. So if I could show you what we're doing for them, it's something that's quite interesting to them. We're not just talking about, like, SEO and results and all this stuff. We're talking about, like, direct phone calls or dollar amount and value that we brought this company. If we could show you what we did for them, would you at least take a look? A very good wanted thing for them, followed by a very low commitment. Would you at least take a look at that? Not like, would you sit down with an appointment with us for an hour? Not anything like that, right? Would you at least take a look at that? All right, so let's say they say something like, sure, or they say something like, what days, how long would it take, or something, then I would say something like, hey, not going to take anything longer than 15-20 minutes, depending on how many questions you have. But, whatever they say, hey, that's great. I just want to put something together, and maybe we can talk about it later in the week. this is basically setting an appointment. We're not trying to get them and right then and there to talk through the entire sales process or anything later on in the week. So it shows that we're okay to let them go for now, because just cold call the guy. All right, so we have mornings and afternoons available. What works best for you? And then give them flexibility. And after that, if they say like morning's usually good, I'm like, all right, are you free at 10:30 tomorrow? And if they're not, they'll suggest a day and then hone it down. All right, so the rest of the part, what you will realize is what I'm trying to do is like kind of just like drill in their head that, hey, it's 10:30 tomorrow. Tomorrow is 10:30. It's tomorrow's Monday, 10:30. All right, John, like type of stuff. Like, don't forget, hey, just so I'm better prepared. Okay, no, this is like getting more information for selling, right? Hey, just so I'm better prepared, I can give you some. Wait. Hey, just so I'm better prepared and I can give you some better info tomorrow. What is the average cost per job you normally do? Like, what's your average customer value? $5,000, $10,000. And then let's say they say something like probably usually lower, like around $3,000, because I think that's where the average lies actually. $2,000, $3,000. They say, right? Why am I even trying to write this down? All right, they said like 2,000. Their answer is $2,000, $3,000, and you'd be like, okay, great. You can comment on that, anything that you feel, and let me ask you, what's your marketing budget looking like? I know you're probably spending quite a bit just to exist in a place like New York, but if I could show you a way to get another 5 jobs a month, would you guys have at least another 1,000 in the budget to come up with that? This is a bold statement. I have had a lot of trouble in the past asking this question, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask this because I feel like the people who spend money, like they're not and are gonna seriously show up to this meeting or appointment you're putting out there. They know that if it's not something that's not worth it to them, they are not gonna say yes. Like if somebody calls me and wants to help like me get SEO clients or something like that, and they tell me up front like, hey, this is like a monthly investment of like 1,000 to 1,500, like I would think that if I had that money and like what would it take for them to justify me giving it to them, and if I can find any reason and it's okay, then I would go with it, right? And if I don't, then usually means that even if they have the best presentation, like let's say their thing is $5,000, like minimum to start with, then $5,000, right? Like they could have a really good presentation. I wouldn't be able to afford that right now because that's like more than my entire monthly income, right? So we need to be bold with certain parts. I'm not saying you have to ask this question, but I'm gonna ask this question, but because I've kind of not asked this for a while for this one reason, right? I always thought that putting a price of how much range we're looking to get them started on would turn them off. But anyways. So that's that. All right, so would you be at least able to come up with that? Let them comment, see what they say. If they say something like, well, I mean, usually they're not going to say like, yes. You're not going to get that. Usually, a maybe here is like a yes. Like, if they're like, well, it would have to be, we'd have to see what we'd be getting for it, like something like that. And then you could just say like, yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, not asking you to pay for nothing, right? But, if I was to show you a clear return on investment, if you were to put in $1,000, okay, $5,000 back, that's something that would be a possibility, right? Again, like big point followed by small commitment, right? If I was to show you a clear return on your investment, if you put in 1,000, you would definitely get around 5,000 to 7,000 back. That would be a possibility, right? Like, all right, so, okay, cool. Hey, John, that works perfect for us. Let me get with my team and put something together for you, and I'll give you a call tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. morning. John, is there anything else you are working on that you might not make that call, like get called off to another job or something? Or you're definitely going to make that call? And then, let them answer. Okay, great. Are you going to be in front of the computer by any chance when we call? You can ask them, because usually I do a screen share conversation, some kind of SEMrush data showing. So I want them to be able to see in the computer, tablet, preferably not in the phone. It's kind of weird, me talking and them seeing the screen. I don't know. I don't even know how it works. Like I've done it with clients before. It didn't work out well, but obviously I can't see from their side, but I don't think it's a good idea. You want them to be in front of the computer. if you're doing screen share. But I keep forgetting to log into this thing, so it cuts me off at 15 minutes. But anyways, where was I? By any chance, computer by any chance. So make sure they're like in front of the computer. All right. Lastly, there's something else you'd like us to include, real quick, because at this point it's getting kind of long here with them, right? So you want to like cut it down even more. Like, hey, John, is there still like, by the way, there's something else you would like us to include? And they'll be like, what? We have a full service online team that can look in the hell did I type here? Look in the back end of any competitor of what they are doing behind the scenes to get more clients, whether it be online, offline. You have somebody in mind that you want us to include in this report specifically. Usually they could have somebody, and when they say somebody, definitely that becomes your guy for one of the people to show when you're gonna, during the appointment, bring them up. And because they're just literally giving you what pushes their buttons, right? Which company of theirs around them, their competitors, really like gets to them. All right. Having that said, what is this first? Okay, no, they're just rebuttals. Okay, you can take a look at some of them. I'll keep it here for a second if you guys want to check it out. But just rebuttals that could come up through the thing. But you guys get the point, right? So overall, guys, I feel this is a very strong script, but you should know that usually, right, with SEO, a lot of times all this doesn't happen in the first call, right? There could be 2 calls that accomplish this 1 call, meaning that you talk to them a bit, you can't get through all the way, they're in a hurry. This is quite a bit, it takes like some time to get through this. Not that long, but it could take some time to get through this call, and they might not always be wanting to give you that, right? So they could do this halfway. You get their interest a bit, and then you call back again to qualify, right? But I have the only reason I'm emphasizing this is because a lot of times I get them interested a bit, and then when I do call them, I do the entire presentation, right? And it doesn't work out that well, right? My close ratio is not that high, like for SEO clients that I do presentations with and stuff like that, right? And I think a lot to do with is that I'm not qualifying them properly even when I do cold call them, right? So if I get them all the way to the end like this, it says a shitload of stuff, right? More than I can even think about on the top of my head. It means that they have money to spend. They're interested enough to stay on a call that relates to something they want to get to. It says a lot. The commitment is a lot higher when they even get through a decent lengthy call with you, right? That's one of the most things, big indicators of interest. It's a big thing, right? That you want them to be genuinely interested in what you're saying, which is the reason I don't include things like, we're one of the top SEO companies around here. Well, too much. Yeah, I say that we specialize for marketing for roofing contractors only, just to get into the call. But I don't. That's not my main point of thing that I get them interested, right? It's more to do like we just got my client here this many calls, and I make sure the stuff I've saying you don't have to do this. This is just something I do. Is actually legit, right? These numbers is what I'm going to show them during the call, and the company that I'm talking about is something they can call at the off time. And I told my client, like, hey, if you get in calls, I have a good relationship with them. Like they would just basically say, yeah, we work with me. And so yeah, I mean, basically what I was trying to say is this is having a hook is really important in terms of what's going to really get them interested, because everybody and their mother is calling them and telling them that we have search engine optimization, we do on page and this and that, and say like, no, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to do this. And as you guys know, this can follow through pretty well with the presentation, because my presentation is not a lot with I don't use words like backlinks and stuff too much, right? I always use words like, this is the amount of customers that are coming, this is how many people are searching for roofers around this area using this phrase. I keep it as much as possible revolving around the entire business and not to do with backlinks and rankings and stuff, right? So this kind of stuff kind of followed through pretty well. So anyways, looking forward to how this pans out. Soon gonna be giving this a shot, and I'll keep you guys posted. Peace.